On this episode of That Kingsville podcast, Darian Primeau is here from Seng's Martial Arts talking about everything that she's accomplished and where she's going.
It's exciting.
It is exciting. It's fantastic. Local features on local athletes. It's another thing we're doing here on That Kingsville podcast. So all that and more on this episode. As always, That Kingsville podcast proudly brought to you by Kingsville Brewery. And you know what? We're going with it, ChatGPT. And since Kat wanted to chime in last episode, he's doing a read.
Yeah.
Welcome back to all the radio days, Kat. So I'll be host 1, you be host 2.
Okay.
And we'll see what ChatGPT fired up for us here. You ever taste something so good you instantly forget about all your responsibilities?
Oh, yeah. Like Kingsville Brewery's ready-to-drink pink lemonade cocktail. One sip, and I was like, laundry? Never heard of her. What does that mean?
It's a responsibility.
Ridiculous.
It's light, crisp, and citrusy, and it comes in a can. No mixing, no effort, no regrets. Well, maybe some regrets if you forget sunscreen.
Seriously, this thing tastes like summer vacation and adult decisions had a beautiful baby. Perfect for patios, beach days, and pretending your inflatable pool is a luxury resort.
But heads up, it's a limited edition, so grab it while it lasts.
Like your motivation after 2 of these.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Sound effect.
Woo!
Can opening, distant. Woo.
I loved it. It was direction. Find Kingsville Brewery's Pink Lemonade cocktail and their full lineup of craft beers at kingsvillebrewery.com.
They've got lagers, IPAs, and more. Basically, everything you need to host a party or survive one.
Cheers to doing less. Thank you, Kingsville Brewery, for supporting That Kingsville podcast.
Oh, wait. No, it says I'm supposed to be grinning.
You
want me to read
there's
that?
another line!
Oh, my God. And if you're still drinking regular lemonade, we're a little worried about you.
Unless you're a child.
Steve, we need outro. It says laughter.
Yeah.
Great job.
Thanks, Kingsville Brewery.
Oh, a seagull cawing in the distance. Caw-caw.
We gotta get you in the loop there, Gary, to fully produce these bits. All right.
Well done.
Well done. Welcome to That Kingsville podcast. I'm Dave, Kevin, Steve. Hey. Special guest Darian Primeau is here from Sengs. We'll get to you in just a second. Lots to talk about: martial arts, jiu-jitsu, and qualifications, and
championships.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. So it's middle of summer. It's your midsummer episode of the podcast. So lots going on, a lot of activity outdoors. It's Hogs Weekend coming up here.
Yep.
There's been a Kingsville block party so far, and special correspondent from That Kingsville podcast, Steve Ianson, was on the scene. Steve, could you tell us a little bit about what happened at the first town of Kingsville in Kingsville block party?
My 10-minute stroll. Honestly, I was impressed. The turnout was busy, and I think the theme was Kids Night.
I believe so.
Right? Yeah. Well,
they had Lego.
They came out. There were a lot of kids running around. Basically,
containers.
I walked down King Street, got an ice cream at Miller's, up Chestnut, and kind of did the block through town. But no, it was I won't say jam packed. Like there was a little bit of room to move, but certainly there's a lot of people out. By the time I went to pick up my daughter from work at 10, it was pouring. So the weather really did kind of hold off. I mean, it was about 9:45, I think, when it started raining. So yeah, all in all, I'd say it was a pretty good night. Haven't heard any feedback because, I don't do the Facebook thing, so I can't tell you what people are saying about it on there. But
Darian, did you go to the block party?
No.
No, me neither.
I also did not attend the block party, so that's why we had special correspondent Steve Ianson on the scene to report anything that was happening of relevance. Just so
I saw our lawyer friend there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Sebastian. He was good.
From McGregor, Sims, Schmorantz, Hart.
That would be him.
Law offices in downtown Kingsville. Call them for most of your legal needs. Not all.
Yeah.
I don't think they handle murders and, like big criminal cases. But anyway.
But he will help you.
He will.
Oh.
Got to get one in early.
He does. That's scary. Miss those. We've been to them in the past, the block parties. Anything new that you might have seen while you were wandering through?
No.
Same. We're just lathering, rinse, and repeating.
Well, I don't know that we are, because again, I went to one last year, certainly hit the beer tent, and there was a lot of milling about, which kind of comes with the territory for that kind of thing. I couldn't tell you who the vendors were. I didn't pay a whole lot of attention, but there was live music. It seemed to be well enjoyed, for lack of a better term. There was a lot of people dancing and gathering. And
festivity and frivolity.
yeah, I mean, certainly didn't look like a waste of time. And it didn't look like it was just kind of thrown together.
Oh, no.
So,
but if we were copying the recipe that we had from last year.
Yeah, and maybe we are, but all in all, I would say it was a success based on, and there was a lot of coming and going too. By the time we left, there was a lot more people heading uptown. So,
yeah, next one will be the third Saturday in August.
20-ish
thing date.
16th.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it?
Steve with the...
I don't know. The third Saturday is the 16th.
There you go.
You're clairvoyant or like Rain Man?
Well, no, I just know that this Saturday's the 2nd, and I can add 14 to that, Dave.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Dave.
And then the last one.
Dave is our math correspondent.
Math, yeah. That's why I'm
Maths.
accountant.
But Dave loves maths.
I love not maths. Then the third one, third week in September, rounding out the summer festival season in Kingsville. What's that date, Steve?
20th?
Yeah, thank you. Fact check him. I don't know.
No.
Well, the first's a Monday, which means Saturday's the 6th. Well, okay, no, my anniversary's September the 2nd. That's a Tuesday.
Oh, okay,
So
you got points of reference.
There we go. I'm
You
not
got
just
points
like
of reference.
pulling, no, yeah, I think it's that day.
Oh, but we've had seasonably warm temperatures. The lake is nice and warm. It's beautiful.
Hold on 1 second. So,
Oh,
jeez.
so we could talk about the lake too.
So Tammy has to go back to school on her anniversary this year.
Unfortunately,
And my anniversary.
Well, no. Well, I mean,
No, I know. No, yeah,
that sucks.
yeah, it happened
His
actually a
wife.
few years ago. Yeah,
that sucks. Probably roughly every 7 years.
sorry. Well, no, because it'll be throwing a leap year.
Oh, yeah,
It's probably 5 or 6.
I can hear the audience going, yes, forward.
Sorry, Darian, you should have been before this.
So yeah, lake. We were mentioning the lake.
Oh yeah. So Cedar Island is doing their Cedar Island Yacht Club's doing their usual kids learn to sail.
Yes.
And my daughter got to take part in a race night on Monday, and we weren't sure it was going to go ahead because about 5:30 the rains came, but it turned out it was fantastic. They hit the water, I don't know, maybe around 6. Doesn't matter the elements. If you're going to get wet, you're going to get wet, as long as there's no obviously lightning. And by the time we went up to watch, it's about 7:15 and 7:30. There's a nice rainbow, and the kids are out there on their vessels, and this is perfect summer night.
Postcard weather.
It was.
Or postcard options.
Yeah.
Photos. There. I figured it out after 3 times.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Love sailing.
Yeah. Visit the beach.
Never been.
I don't,
Never sailed.
oh,
No?
It's not a boat. Not a sailboat.
just listen to the Christopher
this
Cross
is-
song. We're gonna get to Darian.
So let's do that. Then we can nod her after.
we have an award-winning martial artist with us. So Darian Primeau, thanks for joining us on that Kingsville podcast. So quick moment of clarity. The reason why Darian's in, Kevin, your kids practice martial arts at Sengs. There was a big competition that you'd had, and Darian, you won a qualifier. We'll get to that, but much like we had the ladies that did the what were they doing last year?
Oh, the power.
Powerlifting.
Right? Like there are all of these talented athletes in our community that don't really get a lot of visibility, but what they are and what they've done and what they've achieved is amazing. So when talking about it was like, hey, yeah, let's see if Darian wants to come on and talk about it. So thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, no problem.
So martial arts. How long have you been practicing martial arts?
I think this is year 26 now. I started jiu-jitsu when I was 4.
Oh, geez.
And I'm 30 now, so I've kind of just maintained training through that whole time, other than during my 2 pregnancies. But I still actually train during those 2, actually. just not like
like, relax, baby. It's going to get rough in there,
Right.
but I'll
just not
protect you.
super competitively, but I still trained with like my usual training partners for both my pregnancies.
So dedication to the art.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of my literally whole life. So
well, yeah. If you started at about age 4,
Yeah.
So why did you start? What was it that drew you to it?
well, I don't know if I had a say when I was 4, but it was just like my parents just enrolled me in it at like a community center in Windsor, and I just stuck with it. It was actually a rule in our house that you had to do jiu-jitsu. We didn't really have an option. It was like a life skill you learn. Like kids learn to swim, you learn to ride a bike. We did all those, but we also learned to fight.
I should have learned math.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think it was just a thing that we did growing up. When we were 16, we could choose to stay or not. But at 16, I actually won the Pan Ams. So I realized, I'm kind of good at this, and I continued with it.
Well, a lot of times, and we'll get into the actual competition that you're going to be heading off to, which is amazing, representing Canada on the world stage. And I know for you, not the first time, but a lot of times as young girls get older, and they're playing sports, they tend to drift away from sports around 16, 17, and we've had actually Cara Murray in from Counter-In, who's launched a nonprofit around that whole idea of trying to keep young girls in sports. For you, what was it that kept you wanting to? What kept you in with that drive and wanting to compete? Throughout your entire life.
Well, I think so. There were no girls growing up. Like there weren't even women growing up in the sport at all. In our area, at least. So when I turned like 12, 13, I told my dad I wanted to be a world champion. I wanted to do this professionally. So he started doing research on different role models that would be in the jiu-jitsu community. And the one that he found was actually the first female Canadian black belt in jiu-jitsu. And her name's Emily Kwok. She's from New York. So he just messaged her on Facebook and was like, hey, my daughter wants to learn more jiu-jitsu and be a world champion. Can we come visit you in New York? And she responded, and she was like, yeah, here's my schedule, here's my rates. So we drove to New York, and I stayed there for like a week, and we just kind of trained. So I think building that relationship with Emily was the reason that I had an actual role model in the sport. So I've kind of just tried to foster that to all the younger girls under me. And I actually got to travel with Emily quite a bit and go, I think there was 9 different states I got to travel to and just do full women jiu-jitsu camps from like 13 to 17. So
what are some of the things that you're teaching at those camps for those girls?
I mean, so at that time, like I was one of the girls in the camps. Mm-hmm. Like I wasn't teaching them at the point. Like I get to teach different camps now. But they just talk about like community and like respect and sticking together and just building like a team where you're at. Now there's a lot of young girls, like they have full girls divisions at the tournaments and stuff now. Before, like I would just fight the boys up until I was like 17. I just fought boys because there were no female competitors. And so at the camps that I teach now, like one of the biggest things that I teach is the next generation. So like my daughter trains also, she's 9. And for her, it's just building the friendships and the foundations of jiu-jitsu so that the woman can continue in future generations.
Can we just back up a little bit? What is jiu-jitsu? For those people, to differentiate it from other martial arts.
Karate and
yeah, so there's no striking in jiu-jitsu. There's 2 forms. There's gi and no gi. No gi would be like you're just wearing like shorts and a t-shirt. But the gi is like a full like uniform, similar to like karate uniform, just different material. Or I guess it'd be more similar to like judo. But there is no striking in jiu-jitsu. There's like, it'd be considered like submission grappling type similar.
Okay.
So tough nonetheless.
No, I agree. But for, I mean, my kids did karate and then they kind of dabbled a little bit in jiu-jitsu. But some people, might just say, well, what's the difference between karate and jiu-jitsu and judo and everything else, right? So
it's a lot of what happens in UFC if the fighter falls down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you've received this training from Emily in New York.
Yeah. So the training was good, but I think it was also like she's educated. She's like accomplished a lot in a professional manner on the business side of jiu-jitsu and not just as an athlete. So I think when my dad contacted her and did research on who is my role model going to be, he did some like other research on who she is outside of the sport too. And I think that's important too, is like, if you get hurt as a professional athlete, what is your plan?
Yeah. So the start of like a very long running relationship.
Yeah, and like me and her are still very close contact, and she's in the Jiu Jitsu Hall of Fame. I could go stay at her house with her. She has 3 kids of her own. She has a gym in Princeton, New Jersey. We've gone there. It's been cool to like foster a relationship with her. And now that we both have kids too, it's just been a cool relationship to have that's built on jiu-jitsu.
Now, obviously, your dad must have been thrilled when you said you wanted to be the world champion. What was, beyond the reaching out on Facebook, what was his reaction like? And did that sort of elevate Darian to like favorite child?
I would say yes, but I know my brother's going to watch and be like, my parents are actually not athletes at all. Like, they didn't come from an athlete background. They put us in jiu-jitsu solely for self-defense and like character building, I guess. So I don't know it. Like, actually, both me and my brother have competed on like professional level of sports. He kind of got out of jiu-jitsu and he got into pole vaulting. So that was like kind of his thing. But both of us have competed on the world level for jiu-jitsu, and everyone kind of makes fun of like my dad saying like, how did you end up with 2 athletes? Because he's like a not sports person.
Sure.
But obviously like they were really supportive of like fostering my growth in the sport of what I wanted to do. So I think he was excited, but also he was like, well, this isn't like my avenue of stuff, but like, let's do some research and figure out what we can do.
So after you decided, all right, I'm committing to this, where did you start to go? Was it more training? Was it more exposure, more competition?
I think a mix of all of it. It was more exposure, but more like creating a plan of like, how are you going to turn this into a career, or how are you going to like build a life off of this? I have my business degree from the university, and I used a lot of that to like host seminars and host camps, and just kind of run my own thing with jiu-jitsu a bit. So I think that was kind of the path that way, but there was a lot of exposure. Like, I've trained with a lot of world champions. I've had exposure to a lot of really good jiu-jitsu practitioners over the years, just from the exposure of it. And I've also got to compete all over the world too. So
how did that start? Like, what was the first major competition after you chose, you know, this is it, I'm going to do it? And how'd you do?
So I did a couple just like, not smaller, but like international tournaments first. I won all of those. And then
like, wait, there's no learning curve. It's just like, I'm just going to get in there and kick ass.
Well, so I think I was used to competing with the boys. Like, and then I think it's earlier now, but like around like, 15 years ago, when you had like 14, 15, the boys are starting to get like man strength. Mm-hmm. So I had a harder time competing with the boys. Then when I switched to fighting the girls, I was a lot stronger than a lot of them. And at the time, a lot of the girls didn't have the same amount of experience that I did, just because I was doing it for so long. And then at 16, I competed at the Pan Ams in California, and I ended up winning that. And that was kind of like my first major one that I won and competed at.
So how many competitors did you face, or was there in the competition?
So it was the juvenile division, and there was 4 of us in the division.
Yeah, so from the U.S. and South America and Canada.
Yeah, for the Pan Ams, yeah.
And who did you compete against in the finals?
Actually, it's funny. So I have twins, but I fought identical twins.
Okay, so you fought the same person twice, but with like half the stamina.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute.
So I fought, in the first round, I fought the one sister, and then the finals, they even wore like the same outfit. So like they were like this. Maybe they were the same person. I don't know.
It was like the master
so
plan.
Sneaky.
Like, are you tired? No, I'm not tired. Okay, all right, I'm gonna fight her again. I'm like, okay, now you go.
So on the podium, it's like me on the podium, and then next to me is the twins. So the podium picture is actually kind of funny.
It is. So what happened after you win Pan Am? Like, does anything happen? Notoriety? The government do anything for you? Put you in a Wheaties box? No.
Our government doesn't do much for jiu-jitsu athletes.
Yet.
Hopefully one day. It's a huge growing sport. Yeah, it's a growing sport for sure, especially for women. Even like still, there's only 1, maybe 2 associations that actually pay men and women equal in jiu-jitsu. It's still very not equal.
So coming off, your first Pan Am Games win, then what was it? It was like, all right, I've come so far. What was the next step? Where did you go after that?
I just went back to the gym and kept training, and like they have the Pan Ams every year. There's the Worlds every year. I've placed second. So there's different belts, right? So it's white, blue, purple, brown, and then black. So I've placed at at the Pan Ams at every belt, except black. I haven't competed at black yet at the Pan Ams. So I think just consistently training, trying to get better, and then I would compete at those every year and try to compete as much as I can. Now it's a little bit different because I have 3 kids, so it's not as easy to just see you later for the weekend.
Yeah, mom's got to go kick some ass. I'll be back, maybe a little bruised. It's okay.
Yeah.
So like a series of years of just relentless competition and whatnot.
Yeah. When I, started the family, I have my daughter. I went through a divorce when I was only 20. And I was in Ohio, and then I moved back to Canada with my daughter. I have sole custody of her, and my fiance now raised her like as his own, and we have the twins now together. So we have 3 total. So that took a lot of time, and I kind of slowed down on competing during those years just to establish adult life, I guess.
Sure, yeah.
And
we all
then,
gotta grow up sometime.
About 2 years ago, I really started getting back into like the competition scene and like heavy training.
So what were some of the things that you got to set now? Because you've done the Pan Am, right? You're like, you got to keep striving for something, right? Is it black belt competition the next major hurdle that you got to strive for?
Well, so like in Canada, we have like our nationals, which is what I just competed at. And then if you win your division at nationals, you get to compete at the JJF Worlds they do it every year, but it's in a different location. So that's kind of like my focus every year is that right now.
And
so representing Canada.
Yeah, representing Canada for my weight division is kind of my goal of why I'm doing it. And so like I said earlier, there's 2 types of jiu-jitsu really. Like there's gi and then there's no gi. I don't like no gi. That's not like my thing. I was solely focused in gi, but at nationals this past year, I didn't do as well in gi that I normally do. So I was like, whatever, I'll just see what happens in no-gi. I ended up winning nationals in no-gi, which like I don't even train no-gi before this. So the joke with some of my training partners was like, oh, it's okay, you're going to win no-gi anyways, as a joke, because I don't even do no-gi. But then I did, and now I'm going to Thailand because of it. So
you're seeing the world with this.
Yeah.
So like not only is it, achieving all the goals of success of winning in competition, but you've turned it into a business. You're learning, about global culture and competition on an international scale. And recently also, now you're competing in the world's national or World Jiu Jitsu competition in
Thailand. Yeah.
Like incredible. So tell us about like, what do you have to do to prepare for something like that? Is it anything else different because it's, so far around the world, like it's not at home here at Sangs?
Yeah, so we even though we're like a small farm town gym, we actually have 3 of us on the national team going to Thailand.
Oh jeez.
Yeah.
So we are a small farm town gym, but like we're good at jiu-jitsu. So
apparently the epicenter of jiu-jitsu in Canada.
So like
getting there.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean the GTA has like the main of the jiu-jitsu. Like that's kind of where they are. But for us to have 3 people going to Thailand on the night, like with Team Canada is huge. The one is fighting the like U16, the other one's fighting U14. So they're the teens, but like we have someone in 3 different kind of age categories and belt categories to represent, which is really cool. But I don't think my training is going to get more intense, but nothing too different than like what we're really doing. Just like a little bit more intense and more like specific to no-gi.
Is your daughter doing jiu-jitsu?
She is. She's actually there right now. I dropped her off and like came over here. But
all right, cool.
Like she's done in an hour.
Yeah,
And
she does it too. And like my 4-year-olds also do it. It's kind of like a non-negotiable thing, like how I grew up too. I think it fosters like really good relationships. You meet some of your best friends there, and then you just build a lot of good relationships with people that you probably would have never met without the sport.
What do your kids think of mom competing and all the success you've had?
The 4-year-olds don't really know any different. But like my 9-year-old just constantly talking about like, my mom's cool. Look at my mom. My mom's on TV. This is my mom. And like to the point where people won't even believe her at her school. They'll be like, that's not your mom. So like she's had me come in for like a show and tell day too.
That's
All
awesome.
these kids are just like wrapped up in
So,
pain.
Fight you all.
I just think it's
Didn't
cool too.
believe me,
That's
eh?
like,
Yeah.
everyone thinks like when you become a mom or a parent, like you have to stop your passions, which I think me continuing to compete, and it's not easy. Like there's some days that I leave my house early in the morning so I can train before work, or like I'm tired. Like today I worked all day, came home, made dinner, get the boys ready for bed, and then we're out the door, and then I'm not home until probably almost 10 o'clock tonight.
Yes.
So there's a lot of sacrifices, but I think it just shows that you don't have to stop these things. Like once you become a mom and have a family, you can still reach your dreams and follow your dreams even after you have kids.
It's it's pretty amazing what Sangs is able to do at this level of competition. Why, can you explain to our audience, why it would be difficult for a gym that's in Kingsville to be able, why it should be, and and Sangs is able to get around it, and it does probably punches above its weight class in the way that it's able to train fighters. But why should it be more difficult? Like this is abnormal for a gym at the size of what's in Kingsville. I
think, well, one, the size, obviously, like GTA is a lot bigger. They have a lot more options, and out there, their gyms are probably like 10 times the size of ours. So as a female, I have a few training partners, but when like one is out of commission because they're having a baby, it makes it like my main training partner is actually one of the owners. She's having a baby, so she's been out of training commission. So I think it makes it difficult when you lose one of your 3 training partners versus like when you're in Toronto or somewhere bigger, you have unlimited amount of training partners of people like your exact size, your exact skill level. I think there's only like one other female black belt in our whole area in Westchester County, other than myself. And I don't think she really trains much anymore. So I think just like the level of skill of jiu-jitsu in this area is still growing compared to places like Toronto, where it's been big, it's been growing for way longer than around here. And we just don't have, so one of the gyms in Toronto, they bring people straight from Brazil to come and teach here at their gyms. We don't have that level. So something like me and Chad are constantly doing is like researching jiu-jitsu and studying jiu-jitsu constantly versus someone teaching it to us. We're both like learning and bouncing ideas off each other all the time.
And it's amazing what you guys have been able to achieve. It really is.
Yeah.
So you're prepping now. When is the actual tournament?
So I'll be gone November 4th to 10th, but I fight on the 7th of November.
Are you looking forward to it?
I'm just looking forward to like getting there. Not looking for the flight. It's 27 hours on the flight. And then, so we're going to fly there. And then the next day of weigh-ins, and the day after that I have to fight. So it's going to be like quick. Try to get rid of jet lag time change thing, because I think it's a 12-hour difference.
Now you've competed at this tournament before, right?
Yes, it was in Abu Dhabi last time.
How'd you do then?
So I ended up not getting on the podium, but I placed 4th overall. And I think there was 67 girls in that division. So I still did well. And, in the 3rd place was actually another Canadian, so it was cool. Me and her had a fight for 3rd and 4th, and she ended up being 3rd. So that was really cool.
Do you have any idea how big your division's going to be this time?
No, like there's a lot of countries there that come in, like countries that I've never even heard of before, that will just show up and you just fight. And like you've never seen these people. They don't even speak the same language as you. Their coaches yelling stuff that like you don't know what they're saying because it's a different language. But I think overall it's just a cool experience, even just to travel and see different cultures, and not only like Thailand culture or like whatever country it is that year, but the people around you and how like they interact with each other or like with their coaches and stuff.
And different styles, I'm sure.
Yeah. And for Canada, like we don't have it where it could be like in schools, but there's some countries where jiu-jitsu is like in their school curriculum. So like everyone just learns jiu-jitsu.
Geography class and now jiu-jitsu followed by math, which I should have probably paid attention.
Yeah.
I'd still suck there too. So all these international competitions, that gets expensive. It's like,
yes.
and as you kind of indicated earlier, it's at your expense. Like
It is, yeah.
Like these are amazing opportunities, but it does come at a, somewhat of a penalty, because you've got to figure out how to get there and stay and eat and whatnot. Did you ever have a challenge where it was tight on one of these competitions and you almost didn't make it?
I'm not quite where like I didn't make it, because I think jiu-jitsu is such a passion of mine that like I'd figure out a way no matter what. Like my parents always joke saying that they paid for like a few mortgages to be able to like do as much as I got to do in jiu-jitsu. But I've just done different fundraisers to try to pay for all my expenses. And like my fiance's super supportive, and like he'll work extra overtime shifts if like that's what it means. He used to fight professional MMA himself, so he understands like the drive and the passion and motivation to want to do something like this. He doesn't compete or anything anymore, so it's kind of like my turn to do all that. So he'll work overtime and all that, but we also are doing a fundraiser for this fundraising one. We're going to do like a popcorn sale for that.
So when is that going to start? How can we get the word out?
Okay, so it's currently going on until August 30th. There's I think 7 different flavors to choose from. It's from a local company in Amherstburg. I think you said you'd share the flyer.
Yeah,
after.
100%.
Okay, perfect.
It'll be on the screen.
Yeah.
Now. Thanks, Gary.
Gary's like,
it's in post. He's just looking at me like, Gary on date.
Yeah, so all the info will be on flyer, but ultimately it'll be e-transfer payment on there. And if you just, my number's on there to send me your name, your number, and your order. August 30th, I'll submit the form. And about 2 weeks after that, I'll have everything and can deliver it all for everybody.
Great. So how many of these transferable skills, right? Like your parents said, hey, we want this in order to build your bro. How do you apply it in the community? Like, do you feel that, that you've got things to do and give and give back to, where you live?
Oh, 100%. I think not only like on a fighting aspect, but just on like a confidence aspect, right? Like I can, as a small female, I can walk like anywhere with my kids and not feel like threatened, right? So I've done self-defense seminars for women just to try to get them in the door of jiu-jitsu to see like you don't have to be with your husband to walk down the street, right? Like you can still go do things, because there are women who are scared to do these things. And I also think that jiu-jitsu, like not only giving back with like seminars or whatever, but you meet so many people through the sport that you're able to, if someone needs help with a different fundraiser that's unrelated to jiu-jitsu, you make so many friends and family that you're willing to help each other, whatever the event or thing is.
Yeah, it's incredible. Darian, your story is like remarkable. Again, nobody sees it, right? Baseball, hockey, football, those are the things that we see for sport all the time. And to know now that you've accomplished such high levels of capability and awards, it's amazing to hear your story. So, I'll ask the audience again, if you want to help support Darian in her pursuit to the world competition, Gary, we'll put that on the screen again. Please, buy some popcorn, help support.
Yep.
Otherwise, also, are you teaching at things for girls? And
so
what would you recommend if there are parents out there like, what? She's right. Let's get Sally in jiu-jitsu.
Sally.
Yeah,
I was waiting for the name of the
Sally.
Yeah.
I pick a new one every day.
One of the like big things that we believe in is like it shouldn't be separate. We train with the guys. We have a lot of females at gym. I know Chad has tried to run different female classes before, but I think the only reason you should have to run female-only classes is if your men aren't respectful enough to be in the same class with them. We have a great environment at the gym at Sangs. I think anyone's welcome to come. Teenage girls, young girls, like we have girls from 5 to...
Reach out on Facebook and see if you're an inspiration for somebody else.
Yeah.
Right? It's like Emily was for you, through your father.
Actually, I've had quite a few girls that I've seen at tournaments randomly just message me and be like, their parents will be like, hey, we've seen you, but like, we never even talked to you or met you, but like my daughter like looks up to you. And there's a few girls where I've built that relationship with over the years, which has been really cool.
And much like Kevin alluded, we've been featuring girls and women in sports over the last couple of years because it's not talked about, it's not discussed, and then the more and more that with what our audience is and what exposure we're getting, we want to talk about this. We want to hear about these stories. We want to see what can be accomplished and inspire other people and youth. So that's fantastic to hear. So yeah, if there's anybody out there that wants to get involved, it's Sangs and your kids are involved there.
Yep.
Steve, your kids were...
They retired. They on their plate, but
hung up the geek.
But I will, as a quick aside, they loved every minute of it. And they didn't retire, if you will, without some sad feelings. But I mean, I remember when Chad's dad was running this program out of the Ruthven United Church. And that's, it's just grown over the years. I don't know if you were part of it back in the church
actually.
days. But
I was at a different gym at the time, but Chad's dad and like who I was under at the time, we always did like tournaments together. So me and Chad have both been around like the sport for a very long time. So you kind of get to know the people who have been around a long time, and which is really cool because there's not many that stay around for this long.
Right. And beyond just the training and the physical aspect, the message that's delivered, and it's not delivered and I don't want to offend anyone when I say a preaching way. It's delivered in a positive, encouraging way to, like, as you know, across the board from the young kids to the adults. And if you step out of line, you'll know, right? They're not going to like come down on you and embarrass you in front of people, but you will know if you mess up. So it's a fantastic environment for whatever martial art is.
Supportive accountability.
Support, is that the term that it's given? Supportive accountability.
That's what I just came up with. I like it.
All right. Okay, let's.
You heard it here
can
first.
You copyright that one?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, any other goals for the future? Like, hey, you go to the worlds, like you dominated the worlds, right? Like, what's the next? Do you have to meet a certain level mentally that hey, I've done it and keep up, or where's the trajectory from here?
So like about 5 years ago, I said I was done competing, like retiring from competing, not doing anymore. I don't know if there's like an end to not compete anymore. I've competed my whole life, so I don't know. Like I
keep going.
Yeah, and like when there's like a super hard like train day and like I can't get out of bed because like my body hurts, or I'm like, why am I doing this?
I had a hard time because I was like, I ate too much. I don't want to get out of bed.
So I guess I don't really know. I think I just like, I don't know for sure what my purpose is in jiu-jitsu, and I love competing. I love the feeling, the adrenaline rush from it most of the time. Like, but like, it's a sport that's just going to be part of my life no matter what, especially now that my kids are in it. My kids are growing the sport. And I've built such a reputation myself that I don't think I could ever really leave the sport. I don't really have like a next plan goal, I guess, after this. Like
keep on keeping on, being an ambassador for the sport.
Yeah, and I think because like I was one of the original females in Windsor County in the sport, that's kind of my like responsibility to keep growing it and to keep being part of it.
Well,
so
Darian, keep up the good work. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us and telling the audience the story, and good luck at the world competitions in November.
Perfect. Thanks for having me.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, it wouldn't be summer if it wasn't construction season in and around Kingsville, Essex County. Highway 3 is still chugging along. A lot of people, realizing, hey, from the first phase, well, second phase, I would say, to this new phase, it's tarmac, asphalt, not cement like the other two phases that preceded it. So,
which was a disaster.
I was going to say, there's so many problems with that. I wonder if this is maybe a more cost-effective measure.
I don't know, maybe. Who knows? It's a road. I'm on it every day for 40 minutes each way. But, Road 2 is currently in construction.
Well, the phase between County Road 8 and where it was double lane, like that section just past Manning, there was a contract, and this is going back, I want to say about 10 years ago-ish, but there was a contract that had to be issued for $64 million to do repairs to the brand new road. And there was a local company that had the contract to build it originally, and then the same local company got the contract to do the repairs to the work that they had done previously.
Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah.
You can tell all the expansion and the heaving under humidity in the summertime. It was like, riding your bike along the sidewalk and ramping on sidewalk expansion.
Well, they actually
But
did.
your car.
They did LiDAR testing of the road
Mhm.
so that they could figure out where the undermining of the roadbed underneath the cement was happening, because that was the problem. Like the cement or the sand underneath the cement was washing away. So then all of a sudden there'd be a crack that would open up and like it'd be like a little mini small sinkhole.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah,
fun.
good time.
Yeah, wheels. Who needs them?
Yeah,
But
so now
just go on the water.
yeah. Whoa!
What?
It's a tough commute for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Road 2 locally, it's under construction. Road 4 west was just repaved.
Road 2 took a bit.
That's still taken a bit.
Yeah, it was supposed to start 2 months ago.
No, they had a delay of some sort.
Road to where?
Nowhere.
Ha ha.
Not even. Don't even do it. Don't even do it.
Don't push any buttons on that one.
Yeah. So Road 4 just got repaved west. Road 5 got tar and chipped. Yeah, there's lots going on here and there.
Road 3 sitting there thinking, oh, thank goodness. Just leave me alone for now.
All this excess traffic. But with it being the middle of summer, we know that the Pelee Island ferry service switches from Leamington to Kingsville. And, of course, again, the harbor has not been dredged prior to.
Well, that was going to be my segue on the water comment. That's why I said about the water.
I kind of came back to it.
Oh, well.
I came back to it, Steve. Sorry.
It got washed away. Don't.
This is why they tune in, Steve. This is why
No, it's not.
But of course, it's delayed. We aren't dredged out. So Leamington continues with ferry service until, basically most of the summer travel season's over.
It's a story that makes waves every year.
Oh, no.
It becomes very, very boring.
He can't help himself.
My goodness.
Oh, it's got a ripple effect in the local economy.
Yeah.
Come on!
I like how he's channeling the his inner Steve on this one.
Kev's going to quit the show. But going back, I think last year on the podcast,
there was like a whole episode about
it. Was, and it's ridiculous. We know because Owen Sound Transportation and the government, they schedule when the ferry is. Why don't we get it dredged in early July? Is there like one dredging barge?
Or even mid-July.
Anything. Like it was supposed to start like July 29th for service in Kingsville, but unfortunately, due to circumstances, the facilities have not been dredged yet, and it will be prolonged. And at the moment, of recording this on July 30th, it's about a week delay that they're projecting. But what I'm saying is, like, if there are people that are tourists that are out of town, like, we're going to go stay in Kingsville and take the ferry and go over to Pelee Island and look at the stuff. Now they got to reroute and redo everything. It's not reliable. And this is supposed to be our time to have this tourist facility. Not only that, but anybody else that uses it for farming and for other commerce and just general. I got a cottage on the island. I want to get to and from it.
You know what? It's time to just build a bridge. Call it a day.
Could you imagine like a local politician riding on that? It was like, if you elect me, I'm going to build a bridge to every islander would go burn down anything that politician like.
Absolutely.
Just no. Like, and I spend a week on the island every summer with family and friends. We love Pelee Island. It's great. Like it's quiet and there's nothing to do. And that's exactly why we like it. As do most of the residents and property owners on Pelee Island. They like it that way because it's a little sanctuary out in the middle of the lake that is untouched. So
we shouldn't build a bridge.
we should definitely not build a bridge. Not even joke. I'm sorry. The team behind that Kingsville podcast does not condone or endorse any bridge talk from here on in.
You know, there was actually a plan in the 50s.
Was there really?
Yeah, no, there's drawings like Ministry of Transportation drawings where they looked into running a bridge from Erie Street, continuing straight, going partial causeway, partial raised for boats to go underneath.
Yeah, the shipping channel.
To Peely, and then running from there to Kelly's, to Put in Bay, to Sandusky.
Well,
and doing like connected multi-bridge plan to Link, Ohio.
If that was there, I wouldn't have to wait for the new bridge here in Windsor to be done, because that's getting delayed too. So,
you think it's going to be ready for the fall?
No, the Gordy.
There's certainly conflicting reports, right? They're saying it's 98% constructed, and they're saying some other reports are that it won't be ready for use for another 6 months.
Yeah, because the Customs and Border Protection. And
so
the bridge, I
both
think,
things
is almost
can
done.
be true. Yes. Yeah, exactly.
But if there was one over to Ohio, maybe I could work in Sandusky. I could work at Cedar Point instead.
Oh man,
instead of Detroit.
I see the point in that.
Jeez.
What? Come.
One last.
That one wasn't bad.
That was good. One last note. There was baseball. There was some sports, some local newsworthy. The Blue Jays and the Tigers had a 4-game stand.
Oh boy, did they!
But this has been fascinating because the Tigers were steamrolling.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, they were really
Best team
rolling,
in baseball.
and then they lost 11 of 12, including the first 3 of 4 to the Jays.
Mm-hmm.
And
then
boy, did they lose those games!
And boy, did they! But then, boy, did the Jays really crap the bed after losing the fourth game against the Tigers.
Wow.
So, it's been interesting because I am a Tigers fan first, but I also have an affection for the Jays. Basically, most Toronto teams except for one. But
The Raptors.
Well, yeah. What do you have against the Raptors? Is it the Marlies? You don't like the Marlies?
But so I was like the best case scenario split.
I
Jays
get the
won
Argos. I mean, they tried to buld that super team with Flutie and Ishmael and
yeah.
Oh.
No, but they are essentially right now the top 2 teams in baseball. And when all of a sudden the Tigers went in this horrible slump, everyone's like, "Oh no, you got to make all these trades and do this, do that, or whatever." And I'm thinking it's a 162 game season.
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden the Jays seem to have caught what the Tigers had for 12 games, or at least they've caught it for 4, right?
Well, they won it today.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Okay, so they've ended it.
But it was way closer than it should have been.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show how long of a season it is.
Yeah.
And right now, I mean, the majority of baseball fans in this area do support one of 2 teams.
Oh, and they were out there.
And that's what I was getting to. It's like the number of people that I just have seen pictures of,
Mm-hmm.
or like one of the local reporters, like, I don't like the way all the Jays fans have taken over Comerica Park.
Well, you know what? We're 2 joined communities as much as Detroit denies the fact that we're here.
Yeah.
Right. Like Detroiters don't ever think of Windsor being a part of the community, but it's only a small body of water that kind of separates the two, and international policies and culture and whatnot. But when we talk about sports, Canada only has one baseball team. It's the Blue Jays. So from coast to coast, out east, except for Quebec, they still want the Expos to come back. They got to go to Washington to get their team back, but that's another story all on their own. So anytime that the Jays come to Comerica, everyone from this area, becomes instant, visibly Blue Jay fans, and they attend. And, we went on Friday night because I've tried to attend most of those series because as a kid growing up in London, I was a Blue Jay fan when they won the World Series. It was great. I still have allegiance to both teams, but anytime they play each other, I kind of cheer for the Blue Jays a little bit more. With the exception of this past series, because of their competitiveness and how good both teams are doing. And for the last 30 years of my life, I've been a Tiger fan on their doorstep, going to games and seeing them through the regular season. So it was a great showing of the Canadian kind of fandom in Comerica and around Detroit and whatnot. And, it was really good when the Jays just clobbered the Tigers for the first 3 games of the series. And unfortunately, the Game 4, Max Scherzer didn't get a win on his birthday, but oh well, he's got lots more to, cry over. So
the man is getting paid by like 4 teams right now.
Yeah, it's
like
baseball.
millions of
Yes.
dollars.
Oh, yes.
But it was great to see people from Windsor putting aside politics, putting aside all of that, and enjoying the sport, enjoying the game, forgetting about that, not being afraid to go and travel and be a part of it again.
And I think away from sports, that was a key thing too, because there are some people, myself being one of them, who are reluctant to cross. But when you see the number of people that, went over and you've actually seen them back in Canada somewhere along the line, it's encouraging.
Yeah, I do it every day, but
well,
yeah,
sure,
yeah, but for all the accounts of people that have had problems, it's discouraging. And why would I want to go put myself through that kind of torture? Right. But it's not. It's not the case in everyone's scenario and situation. And it was nice to see, right? It would have been a sad thing knowing what series in the past years have been and the showing of the Blue Jays and it almost being a home crowd. It wasn't a Blue Jays home crowd, that's for sure. Not this time around because the Tigers are doing so well. But an overwhelmingly large amount of Canadian flag wearing Blue Jay fans were observed. So
60-40?
Probably 70-30.
Really?
Yeah, it was Tiger fans. They're rabid, and it's the middle of summer,
That's
so
good.
like everybody's off.
It should be like that. Even though I'm a Jays fan, but I don't like when another team can go in and take over your stadium.
Like the Green Bay Packers take over Ford Field for most of my fandom of the Detroit Lions. What? But no, so
I suffer through this every hockey season right now.
it happens, Steve.
Yeah. Although, was it last season? The Leafs didn't even come to Detroit. Was it last season or the season before? Because Toronto had one scheduled stop in Detroit, and they played over in Europe.
Oh,
It was last season.
Was the last season?
I think it was last season.
Was it the start of last season? Or
Yeah, it might have been.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I didn't have to witness that last.
It's a benefit and a privilege that we get to take advantage of living here in Canada and taking advantage of things that we can have just over a border. So, everybody's got their own level of comfort and safety and whatnot, and not discouraging anyone for doing what they need to do. But, hey, it's still there. And, most of us that commute, all 50,000 of us every day for work, we make it back. And, don't necessarily deprive yourself. Just be careful and make the decisions that make sense for you. And on that note, thanks for tuning in to that Kingsville podcast. Like, subscribe. We've been gaining members left, right, and center. So I want to go ahead.
Why?
3?
Well, no, like 25.
One on the left. Oh, okay.
Whoa.
One on the left, one on the right.
Hey, left, right, and center. He's funny.
No.
No hogs. All right, fine.
No.
We'll have another episode this summer. I don't know what we'll talk about, but I'm sure it'll be riveting. We're trying to do local features with people in the community, much as we had Darian Primeau. Again, if you're interested, please support her with her fundraiser to help her endeavors to the World Jiu Jitsu Championships in Thailand this upcoming fall. Her fundraiser is going to run to the end of August. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in on That Kingsville Podcast. We'll see you next time.